Daniel Blair and his Main Event Moto podcast, part of the Racer X podcast network. First, a word from some sponsors. Air Medcare Network. What if you're hospitalized with an injury far from home? You'd want to recover close to family and friends, and with an Air Medcare Network Fly You Home membership, you'll have control of where you're treated. You'll be transported to your local hospital of choice with no out-of-pocket cost, and you can now save $10 with the offer code 10MOTO. That's 10MOTO. Visit airmedcarenetwork.com/RacerX offer 1. That's the number 1 to get that $10 off your membership. Essentially, it allows you, if you get injured at a race and you're not close to home, you can get flown back to where you live so you can work out of a hospital that's local, which is a lot more convenient for family and friends. Also by Maxis Tires. You already know that Maxis delivers the best tires for your bike, but did you know that Maxis also offers high-quality tires for your car, light truck, trailer, ATV, mountain bike, and much, much more? Maxis Tires will let you hook up, pull the whole shot, and beat your competition in any terrain or conditions. Just ask the king, Jeremy McGrath. To learn more, go to Maxis, MAXXIS.com. And this podcast is sponsored by ETS Racing Fuels. With unmatched consistency and performance, ETS powers some of the most winning teams in motocross and supercross. You already know the riders and the team, but you probably don't know the fuel. Why? Because champions don't give away their secrets. But now with ETS's new online ordering system, you can have ETS Racing Fuel delivered right to your door, your shop, or the racetrack. So it's easier than ever to get ETS's championship-winning performance in your tank, whether you're racing 2 strokes or 4 strokes, 2 wheels or 4 wheels. Go to ETSRacingFuels.com and you will have your own winning secret to keep. ETS Racing Fuels, the most winning fuel you've never heard of. And now, on with the show.
You're listening to the Main Event Moto podcast.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Oh my gosh.
What? What's the problem? It's just going to be another boring show.
This will be the most boring episode ever.
It's just most boring.
There's nothing to talk about.
Zero.
They didn't even make contact.
I don't know why everybody's freaking out.
Why are you all freaking out? Nothing happened. Nothing. This is episode 150?
150.
150 of Main Event Moto. Huge shout out to Fly Racing, Mika Metals, No Toil, EMT Racing, Viral Moto, and All Me Creations. Dan, what's up? Snap-on Dan's in the house.
What's up, boys?
Why'd you choose such a boring week to come in studio?
Well, last week I was sick and I completely lost my voice, but I feel like, things just happen for a reason. So
You were meant
here
to
I am.
be here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it was a boring night. I don't even know what, in the off-season, Joe, and we, struggle, or, what are we going to talk about? What are we going to talk about? I just feel like it's going to be one of those shows.
Last night I was going to make notes, but I really didn't even know where to start, so I just
throw them away.
Winging it.
Oh, boy. And by the way, Vincent's not coming in studio. Just y'all need to calm down, okay? If you want to hear his opinion on it, go follow him on Instagram. And you can watch his story from last night, and you'll know. But he's not in studio. He had to work today, unfortunately for y'all. No Vincent. But you can only imagine.
Guess who the first person I messaged when...
Vincent.
Oh, yeah. You should see our thread. It's good.
Yeah, he has thoughts. And unfortunately for y'all, you ain't gonna hear him. I also want to give a huge shout out to motosport.com. All-American Chevy of Killeen. Screen printing done. Guts Racing. Scott USA, and DRS Suspension with Race Tech. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the show. Joe, we have had an uptick in downloads. It's just Supercross. It's 2020. It's just been good stuff. The last few weeks have been good. You guys are all fired up, and we appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. Tell your friends. Tell Grandma. She would love the show, especially this week, because it's going to be boring. What do you want to talk about, Joe?
I mean, man, we could talk about last week, I guess.
Talk about St. Louis.
Yeah,
just
St. Louis
more.
was
Yeah, it was good.
Nothing going on last night.
Yeah. Okay, joke's over. What the hell, man?
I'm surprised I still have a voice.
What the hell?
Screaming so much.
First off, the night started out pretty boring. Nothing went on. Faulkner smashes his heat race, right? Just checks out. Jet Lawrence and his heat. I mean, wait, did he win? No, Craig won the other one, right?
Yeah.
Craig wins his heat. It's good. 450s. Ooh, Kenny was good. Eli was good. It was great, right?
Dude, did you ever get that weird feeling when Kenny and AC were dicing? I started to like kind of feel like, oh man, this could get weird, but then I was like,
no. They were probably smiling and loving it. They're two buddies out there. Anyways, yeah, the night's going okay. It's, whatever. I mean, to be honest, the only thing that got me revved up was reading another LCQ, and I'm just like, dude, Chad, stop this. You've got to stop doing it. Like, you know how we talked about Faulkner last year being crazy in the practices, and we're like, dude, you're playing with fire. You're gonna get burned. And then he did.
He got a bad start too.
And then Ferrandis, you get bad starts in the main, you're gonna get burned. Last week, got him. Chad, you got to stop this, dude. You got to get in the heat. Quit playing with these mains or these LCQs, because what's gonna happen is something's gonna get weird in the first turn. I mean, you might get A-Raid. No offense, Alex, but A-Raid might get you in one of these LCQs, and you might not make it. You got to get in the heat. But that was the only thing that had me juiced up. And then the 250 main takes off, and I'm like, wow, look at this kid. Look at this kid. What in the world? And it's just, it's all good. And then hell breaks loose. Absolute breaks. I mean, the 5 minutes of what the hell. And it's amazing. But before we get to that, I think we should just get through the 450 class. Let's cover that so we can get through it and move on, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Tomac looked great. He looks back. He was awesome. He was just a man amongst boys in the whoops. Incredible. Ken Roxon, great start. Just efficient. Little off. Didn't have that extra something. Great. Cooper Webb, way to bounce back, buddy. I mean, needed it. Like, needed that ride. And that's it. I have nothing else. I don't even care.
So
what do you got? Take it, Dan. What do you got?
Well,
I don't even care.
You're going to be shocked here with my 450 and Eli deal, but
be quick, because the listeners don't care either. Let it rip.
I think this is where we see Eli turn it around, and you start seeing multiple wins click off.
Of course, you say that.
Look at history. Every time he gets that one, all of a sudden here comes in 4, 5, 6, 7 of them, and if he were, it's the mystery, of course, but. This is the Eli. I mean, this is Eli.
This is the Eli. So, this is the good Eli. This is good Ken.
He looked killer. He looked killer all day, and you can kind of tell from practice, qualifying, the heat race that he was kind of back to his normal self. So I think everybody should start worrying a little bit, and he's back in the title hunt too, because
he's right
after
there.
The first one, people were saying, even though everybody really truly knows that after A1 it is what it is, but we're kind of writing him off, but he's right back there.
Right.
So.
I have learned my lesson. I am no longer going to watch Anaheim 1 and have any opinion. I'm not going to have an opinion. Kenny and Eli looked like garbage. And now round 3, who's 1 and 2 in the points? And who looks better and Cooper looked way better, but I'm not going to evaluate round 1 anymore. We're just going to talk about it and laugh and just whatever and get a couple in, because Eli and Kenny dominates their heats. They look incredible. They go 1-2 in the main. Those are the two favorites we've always talked about. They're the two. They should be the two. What's wrong with these two? They're the two. They're the two. And it's going to be great. Kenny's getting the starts. Eli's figuring it out. Cooper's going to get better. He's feisty, dude. He got worked early, came back, and almost got Ken back. I'm excited to see the battle at the top move on with this class. But today, on this day, Joe, on episode number 150, I don't give a rat's ass about the 450 class at all. Can we go to commercial and come back and get to what everyone wants to talk about?
Sure, man.
Do you have any thoughts? Last 450 thoughts.
Webby's coming back. It's happening.
Okay.
You'll see in the next couple weeks.
Okay.
He's right there.
Okay. Dan?
AC is going to win in the next 2 to 3 rounds.
Triple Crown next week, Glendale?
He's got a good chance because he gets
Eli
good
is
starts.
freaky in Glendale.
Yeah, but what I've seen from AC, especially last night, is around that 14, 15-minute mark, it looks like he starts to get a little tired.
He did. Last night he got tired.
I think with the good starts that he gets, the shorter races for the Triple Crown, he'll get a little break between those rounds. I think AC could pull it off next week for sure.
I called Tomac. You know that, right? This week, I called that like way early.
You did?
Even on race day live, I said it. On our TV call, every Wednesday we do our TV call, and we do like a round robin, like, hey, what are your all thoughts? And I literally said, well, Eli's winning, so there's that. So Wednesday, I had this. I knew it.
Huh.
Yeah.
I told you Wednesday.
And I have Kenny winning the title, and I'm sticking to that as cemently firm as possible. Kenny's going to win the title. Because he's going to whole shot 75% of the races.
Interesting. I have Dylon winning the 250 title, so we're all up.
Oh, so you just want to move on?
We're all banging.
All right. Commercial break early. Let's come back, and we'll start with what y'all want to talk about.
Main event moto.
There's a reason I run DRS suspension and Race Tech hard parts with Mika Metals chains, bars, and sprockets on Evans 65. First off, DRS suspension settings work everywhere. I haven't changed a clicker since I put them on. Maybe it's the internals from Race Tech that give it that extra something.
American-made products with a 100% guarantee. You don't see that every day.
Yeah, the DRS Race Tech combo works for me. And what can I say about Mika?
First off, they've been with us since the beginning.
The quality of their bars is top of the line, and Mika is the only chain and sprocket combo I run. Motoheads, get with the program. It's DRS suspension, Race Tech, Mika Metals.
Say it again.
It's DRS suspension, Race Tech, Mika Metals. Is that good, Joe?
Yeah.
I love when NorCal companies take the world by storm. Guts Racing seat covers and no-toil filters are made right here at home, but their products travel the country and world on some of the baddest dudes' bikes in pro racing.
Who runs Guts?
Too many factory teams to list, Joe.
Who runs No Toil?
Well, it's the only filter Chad Reed will run. Guts and No Toil make only the best. So visit gutsracing.com and notoil.com and step up your game, Motoheads.
Look good? Check. Protection? Check.
Fly Racing has had the gear game on lock for years, but the Formula helmet has taken Fly to another level. They didn't just make a high-quality helmet, they redefined the standard for the most important piece of safety equipment on a rider's body.
Use your head and protect your head. Run the Fly Formula helmet.
Then cover the rest of your body in Fly's Evolution and Kinetic gear lines.
Easy decision. Main Event Moto Podcast.
How dare Snap-on Dan come in here, Joe, with his Fox sweatshirt. This is a Fly Racing studio. Bringing in that Fox. Take it off. I know it's cold in here, but you need to go t-shirt. What do you have as a t-shirt on? Oh my God.
Hey,
whoa. Take them both off.
Hey.
And the hat.
Hey.
Go topless, shoeless. Get that crap out of here. Hey, the spring gear is coming out at Daytona. I think Daytona. And Dan, I'm going to make you wear it one day.
Not going to happen.
Can we do a bet so where if I win, you have to wear Fly one day?
Yeah.
Joe, think of a good bet. I want to see Dan wear Fly. It would make him so sick to his own stomach. I would love it.
Let's make some Triple Crown predictions.
Oh
Get this over with.
All right. Well, let's go. Let's get into 250, and then we'll do it on that. Also want to mention that Viral Moto has got a code, Main Event 15 for 15% off the store. So check them out. Viral_Moto. Go to their Instagram, follow them. They're jerks. They make fun of me, but it's okay. And of course, Olmy Creations. That's spelled Olmy Creations. They're on board this year, but it says you say it Olmy, but it's Olmy. So I already got some DMs confused by that.
What is it exactly?
It's a graphic company, bro.
Gotcha.
Killing it. And yeah, they're on board for 2020. So follow them on Instagram, hit them up, get some graphics made. And we're actually going to work on some Main Event Moto graphics too, so you guys can run the skull on your shroud. When they're done, we'll let you know. All right, let's get to it. My goal, and I have a lot of coffee in me. I'm revved right now. I'm just
dude. You are.
I couldn't even sleep last night. I was so revved. As soon as this all happened, all I could think about was this episode. I just couldn't wait to get in here and talk about it because it's just, this is like the most insane drama. This would be like watching Real Housewives, Joe, and then having like the two of the most popular people on the show for different reasons get into a fist fight on the show. Like, it's good. It's just good television, right?
Yeah.
And I just want to talk about it. This is like the after show of like a Real Housewives, but these are two dirt bikers that, oh my God.
Speaking of the Real Housewives, I got a DM from one of the members of one of those shows saying that she is super, super bummed for Jet and that she hates Dylan.
Oh, I met one of them. The one, Tamara. I got a picture with her last night and sent it to Maggie. Maggie was so pumped.
I'll fill you in later.
Okay. Anyways, my goal for this next segment is for us to all come together as one. It's gonna be hard, Joe. I want us to all come together as one unifying belief. Okay?
Okay.
You ready?
Dude, you're asking a lot.
I know I am, but we're going to walk through this inch by inch as we watch it on replay right now. I want to start with the word intent. Joe, what does the word intent mean?
The purpose behind an action.
Intentional, right? Like your intent. When you do something, is it intentional? Did you do it deliberately on purpose? That's my belief on the word intent. Dan, you?
Yeah, that would be my description of that word.
Okay. So when we see what happened between Dylan Ferrandis and Christian Craig, do you believe the intent was for Dylan to send Christian flying backwards through the air, bend his handlebar, and take them both to the ground? When he's in the air off the finish line right there, is his head going, I am going to end you? Was that the intent? Joe's smiling because he knows I'm setting dominoes up here, right? You know what I'm doing? Do you know what I'm doing? We're watching it again in slow-mo. Was his intent to kill him? What are you thinking about? You got to watch it? How many times you got to watch it? Did he look at him flying backwards? Did he intend to do that?
I don't think so.
Okay, Dan, intent.
I don't think he intended on killing Christian.
Why are you guys being so careful? Just what do you think? Did he intend to take them both down in dramatic fashion?
Can I just... Okay, I'm going there.
Don't skip. I got dominoes lined up. Don't skip dominoes.
How many laps have these guys done on this track?
A lot.
Qualifying, heat race. They were
I know
a third of the way into the... Dude, he knows the corner.
Okay, you're skipping a domino. You're getting to step 2.
Yeah, just answer the question,
Answer
Dan.
the damn question. Did he intend to kill him?
Yes or no? Yes or no, sir?
No.
Okay, are we all collectively in agreement, Motoheads?
Okay, hold on. Attempt to kill him.
Listen, how many times...
Kill him. Okay, what's the description of kill him?
Did he intend for that outcome to happen? When he went over the finish line, he said, I am taking you down and me down. It's that worth it. I'm taking us both down. The answer is no. When you see Tyler Bowers hit Justin Barcia a year ago, or 2 years, whatever year that was, you knew the intent was to damage body or bike. That was not intentional. I'm going to move on to Domino 2 really quickly before y'all freak out. Was it desperate and reckless? Joe, I'll start with you.
It was desperate.
100%. No way you can argue. Did you see the movie put on Faulkner right before that? Extremely aggressive. Dylan is 15 down in the championship. He knows he's got to start winning. He can't lose anymore. He's got to win. He was extremely desperate from the moment the gate
I would have said the
dropped.
Faulkner pass was extremely aggressive. It was aggressive, but it was proper and great.
It was an aggressive move, and it was great, but it's a desperate man who needs to win, right? You could tell, dude. The guy had the fire in his eye. He had a horrible heat race.
He had the thunder in his heart.
He did. Dan, was he desperate last night?
110% desperate.
Okay, desperate. Was the move he made, Dan, knowing what you were just about to say about the berm, was that a reckless move?
Yes.
How much percent?
95% reckless.
I agree. I was going to go anywhere between 90 and 100. Joe, was it reckless? He's
Yeah.
in the air. Extreme miscalculation combined with desperateness equals recklessness.
Yes, it was reckless.
Okay.
But there's 100 other incidents of recklessness out there every time,
Okay. That's
especially if you're in the hunt.
that's fine. I just want I'm building a case. I'm a lawyer here. I'm building a case so we're all on the same page. Intentional? No. Desperate and reckless? Yes. Okay? Next thing. No penalty. Do you agree that there was and the penalties come out now? What's he get? A little fine and a warning and a probation, whatever. I'm talking a race penalty. Joe, I'll start with you. Do you believe that what happened, that desperate, reckless, and dangerous pass, did it deserve a penalty? Look at him smiling, Dan. Look at him. He say what you think, Joe. Scared?
No, it didn't. But I also think that there's been a lot of other incidents that did get a penalty that should not have got a penalty.
So Faulkner loses 2 spots for going backwards.
Correct.
And cutting down the track. He loses 2 spots. Dylan slaughters Christian. And nothing?
Right.
Dan?
The inconsistency is what bothers me.
Now, to his defense, you would say he doesn't have a track record of slaying people.
Sure.
And
BS.
he can make the defense that our lines came together. I didn't know we were going to connect. He could play it off that way all he wants, but it's still, regardless of his case, they have to make a decision on this. And you're fine with the fact that all the variables, no penalty, he gets the dub.
I am fine with it because I want to be extremely stingy with giving out penalties. It's got to be extremely egregious.
Okay, so you don't like a penalty on this one.
And I don't like a penalty on any
You
others.
don't like the penalty on all the other ones that aren't completely intentional.
Right.
If it was intentional, penalized big time, right?
Yeah.
Dan, desperate, reckless, no penalty.
I absolutely 100% believe that he should have been penalized.
How much?
5 positions.
Did you read my notes?
No.
That's my notes. I believe 5 spots.
That-
Joe, you ready for my reasons why?
For an unintentional reckless action,
Because a precedent is now
which
set.
you could also call an accident.
Yeah, but
So you want to put people in jail for accidents.
yeah,
Wow.
is it manslaughter? You go to jail for that, right?
Yeah.
Or what's the isn't there levels of that? What's the one where it's
Well,
an
okay,
accident? You get in a bar
you're-
fight, you knock someone out too much, they die. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Like I didn't mean to kill him.
Hey, you're texting and driving. You get in an accident, you kill somebody. That's manslaughter now.
Is that Joe? Educate me on is manslaughter. There's versions of manslaughter, right?
I don't know. We'd have to ask Mike about that. But
Oh, legal counsel Mike
yeah.
met him
Nice.
face to face.
How is Mike?
He's rad.
He's the best.
He is the best. He
Yeah.
is rad. We didn't hit him up. Find out the law here.
Look, that's a false equivalence. This isn't manslaughter.
I know it isn't.
This guy got up,
Attempted manslaughter.
he jumped back on his bike, and he rode off.
He ran back to his bike. Okay, so here's why I believe a penalty should have been in place. Because now there is a precedent for, what does Butt Patch say?
It's a pizza slice.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Faulkner's got a slice of pizza on his butt patch. I didn't notice that.
I think it's for Pepperoni Daniel or something. I don't know.
Now, if anybody does a pass crash takeout like that, they can go, you didn't do anything to Faulkner. Or I'm sorry, you didn't do anything to Ferrandis. It's like, I almost feel like that he needs to get hit with something as a way to show everybody, you're not going to do it that way. It's one thing to bump him and make him fall. It's another thing for that to happen. You can't get away with that. That was too reckless, in my opinion. And that's why I believe, Joe, argue with me. Tell me I'm wrong. I feel like they had to do something to show everybody, like, look, we're not going to allow this. Because now if it happens next week, if Alex Martin takes out Brandon Hartraff and they come together and it's brutal, he can go, I just tried to make the pass. You didn't do anything to Dylan.
There's a lot
You
of
can do
people.
something to me?
There's a lot of people comparing. Speaking of A-Mart,
Oh, we'll get to that. It's in my notes.
with Christian Craig and A-Mart's little scuffle,
That was intentional. We'll get to
there are
that.
people that would say it wasn't.
We'll get to that one. But on the penalty, no penalty, Joe. You let him go.
Let him ride.
Let him ride.
Yeah, but
And why a penalty for you? My reasoning is because you got to send a message to the field.
You do, and there's a fine line of being aggressive, and there's a fine line of being reckless and desperate, like you said. And going back to, these guys have done so many laps on this track. They both know the main line. Really, I wouldn't say main line, but there was an outside line. It wasn't like Craig was going on a crazy line. The turn had already straightened out. It was the exit of the apex of the turn. There was zero chance that Ferrandis was going to make that pass, make the corner. There was zero chance.
That berm hooked back, right? It hooked back tight. And again, what you're saying is Ferrandis knows better. He knows that that berm is going to come right back in him. Oh my God. What are you watching, Joe? How are you putting this? Is this on loop?
that was just the
Is it a YouTube
preview
video?
show. I just rewound it.
Is this you? Oh, I haven't been paying attention. Are you just because we watched this now like 30 times, it's just over and over, and it's incredible.
And here's the other thing. It was a fairly high speed coming off that finish line jump, fairly high speed corner, right? You're back on the throttle and everything. I mean, that's how you hurt somebody. That's how you break legs, you know, and it was above and beyond aggressive. And I think once you get above and beyond aggressive, something has to be done. Because had that been Craig and he'd broken his leg, now you got a rider that has missed the rest of the season. You got sponsors and stuff that, you know, are hung out because
that's a point.
Somebody made a reckless move that hurt somebody.
Okay.
It's a reckless sport. Who cares? It's part of it. You pay the price. That's the risk you take.
WWE,
That's the risk you take.
dude. Joe, would it change your opinion if Christian laid there for 15 minutes unconscious?
Nah.
No. So you're cool as long as it's not intentional. Then you can get loose. You're fine with it.
Yep. Or as long as you make it look like it wasn't intentional.
Man, I'm surprised with you. I'm surprised. I know you love Dylon. Is this a Dylon thing? Do you love Dylon or?
Dylon's my pick for the champion, of course.
So it's straight
So I
up.
got to protect my boy.
He's got to protect his pick.
I got to protect my investment.
Oh my gosh. So Dan, to your point, if Christian lays there, oh my God, could you imagine? You think it's bad now for Dylan if he was hurt?
And there's a big elephant in the room about it. It's the fact that he's French. If it was if it was two red-blooded American boys.
And now you're skipping dominoes on me, Joe. Trust me, we're going to get to every layer of this.
Sorry, Perry Mason.
Who's that?
He's a lawyer. He's a very famous TV lawyer.
Isn't it one of the Kardashians' dad? What's his name?
I don't know, but
OJ's guy.
Perry Mason's a lot more famous than whatever guy you're referencing.
Anyways, so penalty for you, Dan. 5 spots. I say 5 spots too. I think there needs to be a standard set that.
Why 5?
Because I don't know. It's just a number.
That's a problem right there. Is everything is subjective when it comes to these penalties.
You got to think the difference between winning first, getting first place and the points that you get for first, and then back to 5th. It's a fairly significant amount, especially for the 250 class that runs 8 or 9 rounds. So I feel that would be appropriate.
For me,
you gotta lose enough points.
For me,
right?
again, I'm gonna tell you a little quick story, and it'll bring some perspective. In arena cross, I don't remember the year, long time ago. Tyler Bowers got docked 25 points in the championship for dirty riding, but it was intentional because the AMA heard him tell the guy, if you something, it was Nathan Skaggs. And Nathan Skaggs was a great starter. He was a lot like Vince Freese. He would get out front. He was hard to pass. Bowers had a real hard time getting around him all the time. And it was in, I think, Madison, Wisconsin. Went up to him and said something along the lines, if you get in my way again or you block me, I will end you, right? He said something along those lines, but the AMA guy standing there heard him threaten him. And in the very next race, Bowers literally head-on collisioned him in the end of a berm, and the gnarliest takeout I've ever seen. Just ended him. 25 points, docked him because they heard him threaten, and the intent was there, and he executed on his intent. 25 points, they didn't even blink, right? And for Bowers, whoop-de-doo, he came back, he won 25 points to him was nothing in the big scheme. He won the title, no problem. This, again, not intentional. Ferrandis is not in the air going, oh, there's Jagger's dad. I'm going to ruin this dude. And myself, because he could have got hurt too. So again, no intent, no way.
Which he said in the press conference.
Right. But if you're going to be that careless, that reckless, and you're going to calculate that poorly, you've got to pay the price somehow. And a little warning and a probation is not it. That's my opinion. 5 is the magic number for me because it's like 2 is like whatever. 5 is enough to go, dude, you better make better decisions in the future because that was not a good one. And for the rest of you riders out there, don't think you're going to get away with something because now, I mean, you can make a case. A lot of lawyers will, in the courtroom, they'll justify something based on a prior case. And now they can go back to this and go, wait a minute.
There's no lawyers involved anyway. The governing body doesn't care. There's no,
I know
you can't appeal. The problem is there's no consistency. You should have consistent rules where if you crash into a rider like that and they fly off their bike No matter the circumstance, you are going to get a penalty.
So
Every incident's subjective.
So your problem is that there is no concrete. So it's like, why are you trying to mess around and make up
There
rules
is
on the
zero consistency. Okay, you just pull the most recent comparison is Faulkner and Dylon. They had, of course, they were different incidents because Faulkner didn't crash into anybody. Faulkner's was way less. What do you want to call it? Like dramatic.
Oh, you mean Dylan's pass on him? Just
Yes. No, I'm
Right.
talking last week or when Faulkner did the little turnaround.
oh,
And
when he turned around,
Yeah.
and he lost 2 spots.
And he lost 2 spots. That was less dramatic. Nothing happened in that incident.
So look, I don't want to get too far ahead of the dominoes, but I got a question.
Okay.
Wait,
So-
you guys don't agree that there
No,
should
I
be
do.
consistency?
I
Like
do.
you're just going to
Well,
gloss over that?
No, I agree with
Every
you.
incident just needs to be like, oh, today we're feeling like it should be 2 points.
Well,
Today we're feeling like it should be nothing.
I agree, and I don't know what to do about that
Because that's bullshit.
then do you think that he should be fined heavier or something? I mean, do you nothing? You're gonna say nothing to that?
Nothing to that. Nothing to that.
dude.
Get back on your bike, bro. Get out there and ride. Look, you know how in football they have the 12th.
I'm never crossing producer Joe. He's cold as ice.
Look, in football they have the 12th man, right? 12th man.
Yep.
12th man on the field. It's like this
Yeah.
invisible teammate. It's the crowd roaring. In Supercross, the 12th man is potential for injury and crash.
It exists at all times.
It's always there. It's the ghost on the track every inch of this sport.
I don't know. I'd say the 12th man was pretty good about booing Ferrandis.
Oh, we'll get to the 12th man here in a second.
12th man. I mean, again, that takes me back to if it wasn't a French dude,
Okay.
half the people wouldn't be booing.
Okay. Oh, you ready to go there then? Because that's next.
Hold on a second. Penalty. Are we done with penalties? Or
Yeah, we agree to disagree.
No.
But Joe's looking at me weird, so I think I might side with
So-
him now. If you give me a weird look.
During
like
the broadcast,
you better agree.
During the broadcast, they said that the move on Craig was under review.
Yes.
Okay. Incident happens. Reynolds, Jet, I almost call him Jet Reynolds too.
We always did, dude.
Uh,
Me and Jim Holly do. We call
Jet
him Jet
Lawrence.
Reynolds like all the time.
What happened at the end of the race? Ferrandis wins, right? Had Lawrence not crashed, okay? Had Lawrence not crashed and got second place, and Ferrandis won the race, then do you see the penalty that was quote unquote under review be
Different.
upheld and different?
Maybe because Geico would try to protest it or appeal. But then to Joe's point, that gets even messier. Now because of a different result, now you're going to look at it different. Like, it is so messy all the time. So that's
Well,
and that's where
because-
I'm with Joe on this is you can't just decide. Like, who's the king who just goes 5 spot? Again, that's what I feel would be justified, but would that be right of me? If I was ahead of the AMA or FIM or whatever, just go, 5 spots or 2 or what. There is nothing in the rulebook that says if you unintentionally, recklessly end someone, it's 3 spots. But if you halfway recklessly, it's 2. You know what I mean?
Okay, well,
That's Joe's point,
but
and
here's,
I
here's
can't
why I
argue with
asked
that.
this is before the podium interviews, that's when they came and said the situation is no longer under review. So why wasn't that call made after the incident?
I don't know, but here's what I do know, and I can tell you this right now.
Well, I know why.
During the main, when I heard under review, I'm anxious because the podium is going to be coming up here in a few minutes, and I got second place. Like, how's this going to work out? And as we're waiting. Like Justin Cooper's walking up to me. What's going to happen? That's when I got the word in the ear. It's not under review anymore. And Lee jumps in and goes, "It is no longer under. It's not under review." And I don't know anything past it. I don't know where did they look at it then? Did they decide they're not going to look at it at all? Is this a midweek thing? I don't know. So I can't answer that question. All I can tell you is that we heard it was under review, and then we heard it wasn't under review in a matter of 7 to 10 minutes from when it happened to on the podium. Like, as I'm getting ready to interview Justin Cooper, not under review. You know what I mean?
It's almost like John Gallagher just said, "Eeny, meeny, miny, mo."
Yeah. Well, okay. So we're gonna move on from
Thank
there.
you for proving my point, Dan.
I
and Dan.
thank you. All right. The booze. Could you guys hear it on the broadcast?
Oh, big time.
Of course.
Crazy.
You have no idea how loud that. Okay, remember when Marvin took Eli out? That was nothing compared to this. Nothing. With my earpieces in, it was so loud that I actually had to take them out because I just needed to take it in. I was like, I have to hear this. I took them out and I'm like, oh my God. And he wasn't even being interviewed yet. They got him first and then they did it again. Like they did it twice and I don't remember exactly the timing of it, but it was insane. And I want to get to the details of the boos. How many people in the stadium do you believe booed because they knew that it was Dylan Ferrandis, a French guy who took out Jagger's dad? Okay, don't forget. Jagger's got 50,000 Instagram followers. He's pretty famous. And this is Christian, dude, the guy who had to deal with the FIM last year. He's got the family. He's got, the vlog. I mean, Christian is like, Dylan picked the wrong dude to hit. Let's put it that way. You could have picked anyone else. It would have been better. You picked Christian Craig. Wrong guy. But I want to know in the crowd, what percentage do you think were booing because it was the French dude took out Christian Craig? What percent?
20%.
Joe, what do you think?
Yeah, probably 20, 25. That specific detail.
Okay. How many do you think were booing because a guy took out a guy?
Not that many.
0.
How many do you think were booing because everyone else was booing and it was just rad to get the volume up?
The other 80%.
Okay. I believe that half the boos, at least in there, were like, yeah, what?
My buddy's booing? Hell yeah.
Boo, motherfucker. Yeah. I truly believe that there was a pretty tight percentage that was like the French dude tried to kill Christian. Right?
Yep.
Dan, no? You look different. Your face looks like you don't agree all the way.
The whole just being Christian, I don't think that makes a difference. I think.
Okay. Then another variable. The French guy took out an American at all. Doesn't have to be Christian, just American. Remember, Christian Craig's a SoCal guy though too. Don't forget. Or was it that anyone took out Christian? Like, I would love to know what the boos were really about. Like what, you know what I mean?
I think it was about a French guy taking out an American guy.
That would be your biggest percent?
Yeah.
Other than the obvious, which is half the people there that are drunk and party and just got caught up in it and loved it,
Yep.
right? Like some people were booing and laughing. Some people were booing and pointing.
Sure.
You know what I mean? There was not 40,000 people booing Dylan the French guy. Half that crowd was just getting into it.
Yeah.
Right? Dan? Let's ask Jacob Hayes. Jacob just walked in. He had to go get breakfast because he eats every hour and a half and couldn't handle being here. Jacob, just jump in real quickly. What percentage of the boos were just fans partying, and what percent of the boos were because of the exact person taking out the exact person?
I think you have more than 20% booing because it was Dylan Ferrandis. I think more people know Dylan's French, and he took out probably the most popular SoCal guy there is.
So a higher percent.
Okay, hold on a second. So Jacob, if you were Craig and Dylan Ferrandis took you out just like that,
It wouldn't happen that way,
hold
though,
on,
right, Jacob?
Would you be more upset that it was Ferrandis, or would you be more upset if, say, that was Christian Craig that took you out, or Austin Faulkner? Would it matter?
It wouldn't matter to me. I think I would be upset in general because it was tough. It was a brutal hit. But also, I think you have to look at it from Ferrandis' view. I think you have to look at it from Craig's view. Craig, I don't think even knew he was going to try to come up the inside, and that berm after the finish line, I know it didn't look it, but you hit it fast.
And it hooked hard, right? And then, okay, so then from your point of view, what is Ferrandis thinking in the air? What's his move there?
I'm coming up the inside, and hopefully he checks up.
That's it, just hoping.
And I watched the press conference, the after-race press conference, and Ferrandis said he was falling. So it just makes me think, me racing Ferrandis, I know he races a little bit desperate. He pushes the limits. And for me, it wasn't the best move on his part, but he was going for it, regardless of the outcome. And
no
concern.
concern.
Both hit the ground.
He's going for it no matter whatever was going to happen, right? Reckless? Can I use the word reckless? Is that fair?
I don't think his intention was to be reckless, but going in there that hot, like, where was he going to turn if Craig wasn't there?
He was going to slide into the mechanics and take out Craig's mechanic. If Christian's not there,
taking out somebody.
If the Christian's not there, then the mechanic's getting it. I mean, he was sliding in hot. Okay, so would you then would you use this word to describe it? An extreme miscalculation by Dylan Ferrandis. Extreme.
I think he was feeling a lot of pressure. He's got the one dub on his number plate. He hadn't won, and he's feeling the pressure, dude. And a 16-year-old is yarding him out front, and he's like feeling the pressure bad. And
Don't forget,
wanting to get to the front.
That's a 16-year-old who also pulled away from him in the heat race right before that. He's freaking out. I told you, he was way desperate. All right, Jay, go back to eating your, I don't know, gluten-free water or whatever you got over there.
I'm drinking a Coke.
Are you really? Oh, wow. All right. Explains a lot. Sorry. All right. So, I want to ask you now a very simple question. And this is going to tie things up very weirdly. If Christian Craig did that to Dylan, complete role reversal, 100% role reversal, Craig slaughters Dylan. Do we hear any boos? Joe?
That's been my point for the last several minutes. Absolutely, you only hear boos from, well, if Craig took out Ferrandis, you don't hear any boos because there's no Dylon fans in that stadium except me.
Okay.
But we don't have to imagine it, Poppy. Just think back. Think back.
I know, but I know where you're going with that.
Think back to it. How many fans are there for A-Mart versus how many fans are there for Craig? The A-Mart fans are going to boo. The Craig fans are not.
Just like the Cooper fans loved when Cooper took out Faulkner, sort of. And
Put it on Dan.
Okay.
Use Tomac as an example, and see if he would boo if Tomac was smashing some.
If Tomac smashed Marvin.
No, you can't use Marv. You got to use two red-blooded American boys that people love equally.
If Tomac took out the other American, Ken Roxon.
He's German, but okay.
He's American. Go on. I hear no accent at all. Last night I interviewed him. There was none. I think I have a bigger accent than him just from watching.
You have a bigger Southern accent for some reason.
Sometimes when I drink too much coffee.
No, if
here we go.
If Eli was battling Anderson and Eli made the exact same move, do you hear boos?
I don't think you hear a thing.
You hear boos?
I think you hear the whole entire stadium on their feet.
Okay.
You hear boos from Anderson fans. You hear boos.
Not enough to break through.
Probably not enough.
Because most fans like them both.
That's my point.
That's my point is if Craig does that to Ferrandis, do we hear boos, or does the crowd stand up and just light the house on fire with cheers?
I feel like it's lighting the house on fire with cheers.
So then, if that's true, then what's the problem with the actual incident?
He's French.
It's because it was Dylan.
But why? Do you really, truly believe it's because he's French? Or do you believe
Jean-Michel Bale, David Villeman, Marvin Muscan, and now Dylan Ferrandis. He's the fourth one that I can remember. There's probably more that are getting it.
And they all ride the same.
Marvin doesn't. That was he was an accident.
Oh, Tomac was an accident?
He didn't
Hell
mean
no.
to. Marvin, that was the first time he was aggressive in his life. He didn't even know what he did.
I agree.
Afterwards, he was like, what'd I do?
I agree. I don't think it was intentional.
Makes stupid decisions as well.
Oh, man. So
intent or not.
Do you see what I just did there, though? For all of you right now who are... By the way, you want to hear a little stat? Go look at Dylan Ferrandis' last 5 Instagram posts. He gets about 130 comments. Every one. Do you know how many he's got right now on his most recent, which is not even from this?
Probably had to turn it off.
2,500 the last I checked, and I read them. Disgusting, dude. And it's one thing to flip them off with the emoji. I get that's kind of funny, whatever. There are people literally saying, get the hell out of the USA. You've got one coming. You better watch your back. I'm not kidding. Go read them. It's insane.
You better watch your back.
So what I'm saying is...
Watch your back from a pea-stained keyboard warrior.
So what I'm saying is,
my
listen, you have 2,500 people just on this. People want this dude out of here. But if you role reversed it with the exact same move, you would have been cheering. So my question is, was it really about the move or was it about the guy?
It was about the guys.
It was because Dylan Ferrandis, the French rider, slaughtered Jagger's dad. You don't do that. You picked the wrong guy. Take out Jacob Hayes. No one's booing. They probably don't care.
I'm booing.
Maybe
Jacob,
in North
don't
Carolina.
worry.
I'm booing my ass off.
If this happens in Greensboro, Ferrandis ain't getting out of Greensboro. I'll tell you that right now. It happens in SoCal. You hit Christian Craig. You picked the wrong dude to hit. Straight up. The wrong guy hit the wrong guy. Take the numbers and the colors off the bike and take away everything else and watch the hit, and everyone goes, "Oh, damn."
Everybody's like, "Oh, that's great."
Damn.
Rubbing
It's
his
Dylan
racing.
on Christian. That's it. That's it.
Okay, how many more layers
So
is
penalize him 5 spots and be done with it.
there? Is there more dominoes to this?
Yes, we're getting to Dylan's response because he blew it. And it's halfway not his fault. It's the language barrier mixed with a horrible approach to his response. He really, 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 really missed an opportunity.
What response? In the press conference or
All
on
of it. All of it. Look at Jacobs pushing Dan out of the way.
See, I'm more of a fan of a guy just being honest. Why do I want to hear his sugar-coated baby response of him saying, "Oh, I didn't mean to. It wasn't my fault." Dude, you went in there to make the pass. Just be like, "Man, I went in there to make the pass. It was not the best call, and it was a bad result."
Because honesty in another country is a bad long-term move. That's why. That's why. He's going to be around here. Maybe. I'll get to that too. You guys don't realize what you might have done. Because I think he's slightly on the sensitive side to how he's treated in this country. You guys might have just booed him out of the country. I'm telling you straight up. He's not in contract next year. And if this continues and he just gets lit up and gets DMs and threatened over and over and over all year, add a percentage to the chance that he says screw this and goes to the GPs. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
You act like that's a threat. There's a lot of people listening right now that are saying good.
I know there are. And for the sport and for the entertainment value, I don't want that. He's awesome. I want him in the 450 class. Stat. Like, get in there and let's keep the fire. I like, he blew it here, but I like the way he rides. I like that loose, aggressive style. He just went too far. I don't want him gone. We'll get to that. Anyways, his response, Jacob, in my opinion, he did not do himself a good service because he had an opportunity to, whether he likes it and believes it or not, he can say what he wants in private. He could have came out and said, "I really, really miscalculated. I did not want that. I am apologetic. I'm so sorry." And for his brand and probably his financials and his career, that would have been the smarter decision. He put his heels in and said, "Hey, if you look at the video, we got to look at the video. I was in front of him. He really danced around the fact that he wanted to say, too bad." That's what he wanted to say. And he kind of did almost in a way. And again, you got to remember the language barrier with him. Like, he said something on the podium, like, "I hope he's not injured," or whatever.
Yeah, so this
was not meant to be middle finger. "I hope he's not injured," or whatever, bitches. That's not what he meant. The dude, trust me, we interviewed him last week for about an hour with him and his wife. Half the time he has to turn to her to make sure he says the right word. He's like, "Wow, what's the word? What's the word?" Dude, his language barrier is going to cause him to say things off exactly what he's thinking and off of what he means. And I'm telling you, he did not mean middle fingers, "I hope he's not hurt," or whatever. That's not what he meant.
Bunch of snowflakes out here, bro, getting outraged over some words spoken in a second language.
Am I wrong, though, Joe? If you are his agent or manager or father, you are telling him, "Dude, say what you have to say to get this behind you so that in 2 weeks no one cares and move on." If you put your heels in the ground, dude, you're every time you are ever on the podium, you're gonna get lit up.
So
from
what?
Here till the end of time.
So what? Dig in, heels in, baby. You'll make more money. Be the bad guy.
How will you be
the bad guy. Be the villain. You will get endorsement deals. You will get storylines. Be the villain. Let them hate you. Embrace it.
Well, then was he too nice? Should he have gone even harder?
Hell yeah.
So he should have said.
He said, "Yeah, I took his bitch ass out. I'll do it again next week."
That's what he should have said.
I won the race, and I'm going to win again, and I'm going to win again, and I'm going to win again.
Man,
this is the thing that I have a problem with, and I'm just, as a viewer, watching it live, okay, is what he said is, "I am sorry if I make him injured or whatever." So he knew
English is his second language,
He
man.
knew that he blasted him so hard that an injury was potential.
No,
I
I
think
think
it's
he
'cause
was
he
reacting
DNF'd.
to the reaction of the people. He's just like, "I'm sorry if he's injured. or whatever. He's not meaning it like or whatever.
I think whatever means a lot of things to him. Like I don't think he knew.
When we say or whatever, there's tones involved that can mean certain things.
I don't believe he meant that in to be rude. I think he meant that in almost like he's in shock.
He didn't mean it in that like asshole SoCal guy way, like or whatever. Like, he didn't mean it like that.
He meant like injury or whatever happened to him. Like he didn't mean it that way. And again, I'm telling you, dude, he was in shock over the booze. He said in the press conference he didn't see that coming. Dude, the guy is in a whole different world today than he was yesterday. Like, he's shook right now. And I feel bad because I don't think it was intent. It goes back to intent. I think it was reckless and poorly calculated, but he did not intend for that to happen. And if he knew right now that this was going to happen, he would have done it all over.
Well,
I
you know
guarantee
what?
you.
If I was Dylan or I was Yamaha, I would be posting some kind of comment or a video or something apologizing or some kind of rebuttal back to this, because if this just gets shoveled under the rug, dude, the people are not going to stop.
Well, Dad Joe says do the opposite of dig in. Swing back.
Okay, then do something.
Yeah.
But you can't just leave it like this.
So is that do you agree with that, Joe? Just leaving it kind of like your heels are dug in, but you're kind of apologizing, but you're kind of, or whatever. Is that the problem? Does he need to go one way or the other?
In a fun world, yeah, he would dig in more, but they don't need to like poke it. They don't need to dig in and like make it a personal thing. I think you do kind of leave it where it's at. You get out there next week, you run your race. Hopefully he gets a good start, because if he gets buried somewhere in the pack, he's got to be looking behind him and in front of him the whole entire race. It'd be better if he gets out front. You know what I'm talking about, Dad. And then that way he just kind of has to.
Well, there's no chance for him to get out front.
Yeah,
I know. I agree.
Let's be
That's
clear.
why it's going to be sketchy.
Jacob, if you're Dylan right now, are you looking over your shoulder? And if there's a GoFundMe for you to make a little money, are you willing? Just look at him laughing. I'm just kidding. But is everyone else in the class caught up in this too, or does no one in the class care? Like, other than maybe Christian. Is Michael Mosman, who we see on screen, I'm getting him back for Christian. Dude, I don't think he's in danger at all, other than maybe Christian.
Yeah,
we saw what Christian did to little A-Mart back in the day. Christian's got some.
I think Christian definitely has some redemption on him, but everyone else, no. Everyone else is, in my opinion, going to mind their own business and let those two work it out.
But if Christian does something back now there's intent, and he would be in trouble. Do you imagine that if Christian takes him out next week and everyone is so happy, and then he gets docked because it was intentional? Do you realize how pissed everyone would be? Christian's in the worst spot ever. Like, if you do anything back, it's obvious.
The problem is I do not see Christian Craig retaliating on Frenchy, because I just don't think that, for one, I don't think that he's that kind of guy. For two, he's going to have to catch Dylan.
Alex Martin,
for one,
would say otherwise.
I don't. You think? You really think that Craig is going to go torpedo him next
Honestly,
weekend?
you want to know the truth?
Dan Amar would say otherwise.
The honest truth.
There's proof.
Straight up, what Christian did to Alex was worse. Way worse.
Do you disagree, sir?
No, I agree with that.
Do you even remember that, Jacob?
No.
I was in qualifying. That was worse. It was worse. And it was in qualifying. And it was Alex. He's 5'5". That's mean. Short people cruelty. It is.
It's shortism.
Do you guys agree with me, though, that there is not one other person on the track that it would have been worse for Dylan to take out? You know, Christian wins his heat race. His kid raced the Stasic at night. This was an unbelievably family night, dude. He's in SoCal. He wins his heat race. His kid's racing the Stasic, and then Dylan goes, "Yep, you."
Honestly, yeah, it could have been worse, I think. What if he would have taken out Jet?
Oh. Well, he almost did, dude. He almost got Jet, too.
Like, if that was Jet...
Wait. You realize how close it was that Jet didn't go down on the last lap? Could you imagine if he went down too?
Okay, hold on a second. I think Jacob's onto something, okay? Say it is Dylan and Jet. They're two non-Americans, right? What's the
yeah, but
Jet speaks clear English.
Yeah, we don't have a problem with Australia.
Jet, did you see? There's a meme I already saw with two fists like holding each other, flexing, and one fist is America, one fist is Australia, and then it says United against Ferrandis. And like, so there's already that going on. But I think Jacob's right. Everyone was all about the kid last night, dude. The kid had his breakout ride, and dude, he almost ended him too. On the takeoff of that rhythm section, he was 1 inch from ending him too.
Both the same way, just like desperate attempts to make a gnarly pass.
Could you imagine if he did both?
Is it aggressive, Jacob, or is it a bonehead move? Both of them.
I think the one by the finish line was just, like I said, he was feeling the pressure from, I mean, I don't know, but I would assume in his position he hasn't won. He knows he's the fastest guy, so he's like, I got to be up there winning. And
desperate.
Yeah, it was like
Reckless,
desperation. Like he didn't even he didn't even think about it. I think he just went in there wide open and was just like,
hope.
I hope you slow down, dude. And then Jet was more or less just last lap.
See, I didn't have a problem with Jets,
I didn't have
to be
a
honest.
problem with that.
That's for the win. He didn't take him out. But if he did, then see, and that changes everything, Joe. Because if Jet goes down, then it's a whole different conversation. But he stayed up, so it wasn't bad, you know? It was whatever. My last question before we get off this. What do you think happens next? What do you think?
I think next weekend it's gonna be just forgotten. I think it's gonna be shoveled under the rug. I personally don't think you'll see Craig and Ferrandis hook back up again, and it's just gonna be one of those things in 3 weeks.
How long do the Boo Birds last?
2 weeks, 2-3 weeks.
Just through the West, through San Diego, and then by Denver.
People will forget about it.
Joe?
Yeah, the booze will stop, but it'll be a long time before we forget about this. And then the next time there's some sort of incident, we'll reference back to this, just like we're sitting here referencing back to Craig taking out A-Mark. That's how it will be remembered.
How happy is Marvin right now? It's not on him anymore.
Marvin's probably pretty happy.
Dude, we'll never, ever, ever speak about the Marvin one probably again now, because this is the one.
So we have to start calling them Freedom Fries again.
Oh my God! Are we gonna play
Freedom Toast?
Are we gonna play Ricky Bobby clips this whole episode?
Right.
All right. So we're in agreement, I think, on some things, and some things we're not. Let's take a break. We're gonna come back. And we're gonna talk about the breakout of a 16-year-old freak show. Who, by the way, I'll save it for after the break.
Main event Moto.
If you're a true Motohead, then motosport.com is your only choice when it comes to OEM or aftermarket parts for your bike. And when it comes to servicing your bike or giving it the punch you need to perform, it's EMT Racing. With motosport.com, you can get everything you need for your bike with great pricing and ridiculous speed on shipping. And with EMT, it's simple. Take your bike to the experts.
2020 is the year EMT takes over the performance world. If you don't know, now you know.
Your Bat Bros choose motosport.com and EMT Racing, and you should too. Motoheads, do you want to stand out on and off the track? Make sure to check out Viral Moto for your jersey lettering and apparel needs. That's viralmoto.com.
Because having a blank jersey is about as bad as Vincent's golf game.
And when it's time to get a screen printing project done for your business or personal use, you have one choice. It's screenprintingdone.com.
Neil is the man. You know those Main Event Moto sweatshirts you're wearing? Yeah, Neil at Screen Printing Done did those.
You know that sick new Viral Moto shirt you're wearing? Yeah, Neil did those too.
We like to look good. That's why we choose Viral Moto and ScreenPrintingDone.com.
All-American Chevrolet in Killeen, Texas is a proud supporter of Main Event Moto and invites all the Motoheads to experience the difference for all of your Chevy sales and service needs. Mention Main Event Moto and get 50% off your next oil change and a front-end alignment at no charge. Remember, whether you're hauling your bikes to the weekend track, trail, or race, or commuting to the job that pays for your moto habit, we have the truck to get you there in style. Visit us online anytime at ChevyKilleen.com. That's All-American Chevrolet of Killeen. Chevy, find new roads.
Main Event Moto Podcast.
Yeah, I'd love to thank my sponsors. You know, I had a great night last night. I had No Toil, Mika Metals, All-American Chevy of Killeen. See how I did that, Dan?
I like it.
It's water.
Toyota of Escondido is gone. It's all about All-American Chevy. Water, Joe? Do you know what happened to me last night?
It's water in your cup.
Do you know what happened to me last night?
What happened, buddy?
On the 250 podium, after I interviewed Justin Cooper, I'm trying to get off the stage so they can do their little stand-up, all three, whatever. His monster can hits the side of his trophy, explodes in my face. It's not water. Remember I told you he's the one that drinks those on the podium last year?
Yeah.
His monster can exploded in my face,
no.
and I had to go and...
Did it burn?
No, I smelled like cotton candy all night for some reason. My jacket, my whole side of my face...
That's from the strip club.
Was
That's not from the...
That was after the races. Me and Jacob, we celebrated his great ride.
Dude, I'm
glitter
not
all over
sure
the
I've
back
ever
cave.
seen Daniel with so much energy this early in the morning. Dude,
Pumped, dude.
Oh my
You guys know, I love drama.
He gets pumped when the French...
The way my wife
Get
loves
rowdy.
Real Housewives and Vanderpump Rules is the way I love dramatic Supercross. Like when things go down, I'm revved up and I'm ready for the next episode. I want to binge watch that kind of stuff.
When you took a picture with that chick last night, he sent it to me. I was like, who is this? I showed it to Ashley.
Yeah.
Ashley immediately knew who it was.
Yeah.
Who was it?
Some
housewife chick. Yeah.
Oh, remind me.
Oh, I know. I want to give a huge shout out to Race Tech, DRS suspension. You guys know DRS does Evans suspension, but Race Tech, the Race Tech Gold Valves, dude, they're the world's largest aftermarket suspension modification company. Did you know that, Dan?
I did.
The world's largest. You know, Chris Bloss runs Race Tech Gold Valves.
I had Race Tech gold valves in my old Cowie.
Did it make it plush? 'Cause
Yeah,
that's what it
they
does.
were really good.
I've ran Race Tech stuff since I was like a kid, like forever, like back, like mini bikes. Lifelong with them, and now I got a little guy who, by the way, everyone's like freaking out and asking, no, he's not racing Anaheim Futures. He was. In fact, him and Maggie are driving home right now. I said, we can't race. I got to get home and do the show because of Dylon. Dylon ruined Evan's career. I'm just kidding. They're not there. He's racing Glendale next week. We're not doing Anaheim. I needed a week off to chill. Huge shout out to them. Also want to give a huge shout out to Mika Metals. Use the code MAINEVENTMOTO, no spaces, for 30% off at mikametals.com. And Guts Racing, you want a seat cover? Dan, you got a seat cover?
Dude, I just sent Andy a seat to put a hump on.
He's super annoyed with you.
Is he?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he said he'd hook you up, and you're like refusing to accept him hooking you up.
Dude, I don't like to be hooked up. I like to pay people because I want to support them.
Cool, then buy some fly
But
gear.
no, he got no fly. Sorry. He got me the
Fly's the best gear company in the world. The Formula helmet.
Just for the record.
Yeah, the turnaround on seat covers, if you buy a seat from Andy.
No, Andy's ridiculous.
Dude, same day.
Yeah, 20% off. Use the code MAINEVENTMOTO at gutsracing.com and get yourself taken care of. Okay, Jet Lawrence. I didn't plan on doing this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Dan, hand the mic over to Jacob. I just got to ask. Jacob, this is your competition we're talking about, and I know you're not supposed to say what you really think about your competition. Your honest opinion on Jet Lawrence.
He's sick, man. Like, he's so sick. It hurts my feelings.
Does it?
Yeah, he's sick.
On the drive over here, Joe, he's like, I don't even know how he rides like that, and it makes me so mad. Dude, like, and it's because the way it looks. He doesn't look like he's trying. He's like, he rides like Sexton in a way where he's just so proper, but it's so effortless and lazy looking, and he's just so fast. It doesn't make sense. I'm still trying to watch it and go, what's happening? I don't get it.
You know what impressed me the most on the weekend was I've seen a lot of weird whoops in arena cross, race supercross last year. A2 was probably two of the trickiest sets I've seen.
Brutal.
With just no starter and then massive first whoop. And bro, he was crushing them.
And he just learned them. He just learned them.
And then he started wheeling them.
No,
that was incredible.
He decided to Travis Pastrana through them. I don't think he decided that.
Yeah, he's like, I don't even want to use the front wheel in these things. It's just
he's like, front wheel, what?
Yeah, I don't want to wear out my front tire. Let's if I can keep it in the air. Anyways, all right, Jacob, go away because we're going to talk about your class now, and we'll start with Jacob. For everyone that's congratulating him on his rides, stop. They're not good. He's just being smart, and we're building towards what we're building towards, right, Jacob? Just nod. Yes, we're building towards something, and he's just being smart, and he's getting points, and we're good, but there's more coming over from the 45 machine. We'll get to that. Now, go in your corner.
Hell yeah.
Okay, Dan. Jet Lawrence is 16 years old. He's a rookie, and you know how I feel about throwing rookies, and I'm not gonna say this all the way, but I kind of sort of told you also. It's a little risky to throw someone out there that young when they really don't understand it all the way. It's obviously he's a freak talent. He's psycho talent. But at the same time, I think he got in front of himself a little bit in that main event. I don't know if he was able to handle all of that, and it kind of proved itself out for multiple reasons. But can we just start on the talent first? And I mean, what are you impressed beyond impressed?
The talent is next level. It's like Cincerilla talent when Cincerilla was young. That's what I see.
Or
honestly.
Stewart when he was 16 and like just
he's incredible. He rides with a lot of maturity. Mm-hmm. His riding,
yes.
But I think his mental stability yet is still not mature, and I think that's why you saw some of those mistakes happen late in that main event.
Joe, what were you like at 16? As a human being?
I was a PIMP. Just handling business.
No, you weren't. What were you at 16?
I had a face like Austin Faulkner, and I could not be more awkward.
We decided maybe that's why he's got the pizza butt patch.
Oh, maybe I didn't put that together. Can you imagine you at 16 being in a situation like that in anything in the world, whether for you it'd be music, anything, 16 years old, full stadium, and just bossing everybody, like slapping them around for, what was it, probably, did it go 10 before it got weird? Because it got weird.
No.
It unraveled. 10 minutes?
No, it was like 12, 13 minutes.
No, because he crashed. Remember, at some point he crashed on his own first.
Yeah, but that wasn't like the
whatever, 10 to 12.
Yeah.
Can you imagine at 16 years? I remember me at 16. Like, I remember where I was in a lot of areas of my life. I wasn't very advanced in a lot of ways. I hadn't had much experience in life. Let's put it that way. I can't even imagine what his 16-year-old brain was thinking for the first 10 and then the last 5, because there was two different brains. I mean, he obviously had two different thoughts going on. I just can't imagine that he would just get out front, pass Christian, like Jacob said, go through the two screwiest whip sections ever, and it was just owning him. He just slapped him for 10 minutes, like it was nothing. It looked like it was nothing. It
was impressive, and what I thought was cool is when he crashed, he got up right away, got back on the bike, and got going. He didn't screw around. He didn't, He
was urgent to get going.
He was, and I thought it was awesome. Because I don't think he probably knew exactly, maybe he did for the pit board, but exactly how far Fernandez was behind him,
or who it was,
who it was. So the urgency to get up and get going,
or that the guy that killed his teammate was the one coming. Joe, did you think he was going to win that thing?
No.
Halfway through?
No.
Did you felt unraveling was coming?
Yeah, it was getting a little bit looser and looser.
Then the fall happens. And then the next lap.
But don't get me wrong, though. Scary. It was impressive. That last lap was scary. But don't get me wrong. It was impressive as hell.
When he wheelied through the whoops.
Right.
Then the next set of whoops. I mean, he had about a minute and a half of, I think, pure confusion. Like,
I was like, this young dude is just holding on for dear life.
Right.
I remember thinking, I wonder if he can even like feel his arms or hands right now. Like,
right. I had a hit in that race where I noticed that he was goofy. And then the next lap, he cleaned it up. Like the second lap after the fall, and like got it back together, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like maybe he is more mentally mature and ready than I thought.
Tell you that, I love watching little dude though. I love watching him ride.
He's sick, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, now to my point, and again, this isn't going to be one of those things I told you so, because I don't think that's fair, because I didn't even think he was going to be this good. But my point that I've always made about these young rookies coming in is that you put them in a situation where they can't really grasp the entire situation that they're in. And for him, I think that he was so caught up in winning that race that there was no possible way he was going to allow any thought to enter his mind that he would get second. He was going to win. And he said on Instagram today, I will fight to the bloody end. I forget what he said, but it was, and I admire that. I just don't think that's the tactical move when you're 16 and you don't have the experience yet. Jacob wants to talk.
This is where I fully disagree with you.
Is that it?
And I think a lot of people will. Okay,
and I know they will, and that's fine.
He's 16. Okay, what is he going to learn at the test track? Please tell me he's the fastest guy there. What is he learning?
Well, first you learn how to be incredible at it, which he's obviously done.
Right.
Okay, and then you learn how to race, right?
Well, how do you learn how to race without racing Supercross?
Do you learn how to race by getting knocked out and getting a broken collarbone? Is that positive?
All I know is if I was leading that main event for 12 minutes, I'd have gone for it too. And I'm 26, dude. I would have sent it just as hard as he did. He had one straightaway to go before winning. Hell yeah, I'm going to send it.
How'd it work out?
Not good. Sometimes it doesn't. Look at Bubba.
Look at Bubba. Bubba did a lot of that at 16 too. My point is, again, you obviously are seeing that he's got it, but I don't think he was able to comprehend. Remember how Adam even said at Anaheim, he finally accepted that Barsha had it. I'm going to take second. This is okay. This is okay. I can build from this. I think that someone else might have been able to comprehend the fact that he was probably physically tired. He had already crashed. Dylan just scared the daylights out of him in that corner before the rhythm. Instead of taking the second and being like, incredible, I'm going to get you next week, though, because I'm going to learn, he went full ham all the way, and now he's out. He's out. But here's is that worth it? Is that a worth it learning experience? Do you have to learn that way? Do you have to? Did Ryan Dungey learn that way? Did Ryan Villapoto learn that way? Do you have to learn the Bubba way?
You know what?
Do you?
I don't think it matters, to be honest.
I've seen enough to tell you right now, I don't think it probably matters with him long-term either.
No.
Like, I'll tell you right now, you know I love to stamp it, Joe. 2021, I think he wins the title. The kid's he's next level freak. But again, these things could be avoided, I think, if you just maybe even tell him before the race. If you're up there, take what you can, but don't end the night like that.
But here's what's scary, is he's so good, he doesn't know better, right?
I know.
He doesn't know better, so he is just riding. I mean, think of the speed that he has now versus what he's going to have in the next couple years when he has the experience and more speed. Dude, the kid is going to be unreal.
I agree, but at the same time, you know how concussions work in this sport? You know how injuries work when they pile up. What if that was a shoulder?
Dude,
you don't care? Because Adam Cincerello will beg to differ as a young kid who comes in on fire, winning races, and then how did that work out for 3 years, battling injury after injury after injury because there was no acceptance other than winning, and he was too young and immature to handle that yet. How does he feel right now, physically in life? Because of those things that were worth it. They're not all the way worth it, and I just don't think when you're that fresh and new, even if you're talented, you can fully comprehend that there's 10 years more. It's not just tonight. And that's where, again, that's my point is, he's too talented, he's too sick, too early, and it got him. And that bums me because I think he's a generational freak talent superstar in the making, and I don't want those things to happen back to back to back. And that's what I'm concerned about because the thought already is, let's get him back out there and do it again. That is, dude, think about his career, not today. He's got it. He's going to win 2 of those and go to the 450. Look how tall this kid is, a superstar. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. That's already one. That's one strike. Broken collarbone, concussion at the 3rd one. That right there can ruin everything if it happens 2 more times. Just cool it. I'm sorry, and if you disagree with me, that's fine. It's my opinion. Firm cement. Not wet cement either. Firm cement, that's my opinion.
You know the saying, you learn from your mistakes. I'm just saying, I know it's a tough mistake to make and it's a hard lesson to learn, but maybe next time he goes, you know what, I held on this long, I might just relax this last straightaway and get second.
Or he says, last time got away from me, I ain't letting that happen again.
And then he pulls off the win.
Or he goes down again. Or the fact that he dodged one because that's a collarbone. That was a really, really, really bad crash. And the fact that it was a collarbone, he's so lucky. If that's a shoulder and he's like AC now and it takes 6 months, is it worth it? Is it worth it to be that willing to take the risk this young? And I don't think he knows better. He doesn't know better yet. He's too good to know better. Because he's out front. Last week, he's all over Faulkner for half the moto. He's like, oh, I'm there. When really, he's not all the way there everywhere. Talent and speed, yeah, but not everywhere. And I don't want to see him have multiples of these that ruin the potential for a star. That's all I'm saying, because he's got it. I mean, buy the lotto ticket on him. He's incredible. Don't ruin it.
Yeah, but my question still is, how does he learn at the practice track? That's all I'm saying.
Well, first you learn how to ride incredible, then you learn how to race incredible, and sometimes it just takes calendar. Just takes a little maturity, a little bit of time. You change. Joe, well, you were probably the same from 16 to 25. I think you were pretty loose for about an 8-year run, but you know what I mean? Every day and every year you get a little bit smarter. You handle things as you learn things. Sometimes you don't have to learn lessons by going through things bad. It doesn't have to be that way.
I just got sexier.
That's it?
That's pretty much it.
All right. Any other thoughts on him other than just wow in multiple ways? Wow good, wow sad at the end there.
I thought it was cool that Hunter finally admitted that he's the faster brother for now.
For now, I know.
But honestly, I think Jet will be faster than his brother, period.
I have not seen Hunter ride one lap of Supercross, so I can't judge. But if he's anywhere in the realm of that, then he'll be a star too, because indoors, Jet has got it. And maybe outdoors, Jet's okay. Maybe he's a freak outdoors too. But when it comes to indoors, I mean, you can't coach talent. He's got it. That's why I'm saying everything else is very important to be careful with, because what he has skill-wise is undeniable. All right, let's go through the class a little bit then. Or let's go through the points. So Dylan gets the win, but he's 12 down now on Justin Cooper. Joe Cooper starts with a win, then he gets a second, then he gets a second again, but it's looked worse each week. You know what I mean? Round 1, he was incredible. St. Louis, it was messy, and this one was bad. But the points lead is growing. You know, it was 3, then it was 5, and now it's 12. Is he just letting everyone just be psychotic around him, and he's just checking off podiums like he did last year, but this time he's letting everyone implode around him? Is that he's got a 12-point lead after 3 rounds, and he's getting worse each week as far as the way it looks?
I think that's what he's doing personally, because I mean, if you look at the other contenders, Faulkner, I don't even know what to say. You know, it's almost like you can predict that he's going to crash any moment, you know, and Ferrandis gets bad starts.
Didn't you call that like before the race?
I did. You know, as good as he looked in the heat race, I watched the qualifying and stuff, and he just looked, man, it's almost like he almost looks really uncomfortable or afraid of the bike, or he was afraid of the track, but it looks like that. It looks like that a lot. And that's what's kind of mind-boggling on why he has these big crashes. And it's mostly in the whoops.
Yeah, if you've noticed, it's the whoops.
You know, but then jump through them. Quit blitzing them.
Or
jump through them
slow down and just get through them.
Exactly.
Like he's gunning it. Actually, and Jacob, I got to bring you back in for this for a second. Justin Cooper was off last night, and you could tell like he just didn't mesh with the track. You even told me like last night was really hard for you. It never got right. Do you feel like Cooper, he's a pretty smart kid, realize that, God, I'm not feeling on this track, where Faulkner wouldn't accept that, especially after his heat race? He just continued to just go through those whoops, and I know you had to adjust to a jump. You knew it was slow. You told me you knew it was slower, but you had to do it to get through the night. Did Faulkner just not accept that adjustment and just had to keep going for it?
That's what blows my mind with him. Like, you had a championship slip through your fingers last year with an injury in practice from crashing in the whoops.
And now maybe you just did it again.
And you're struggling in the whoops in the main event. I don't know what he looked like in the heat race.
Insane, dude. He
okay, so then maybe he's not struggling in the whoops, and then he comes around to the main event and he feels a little sketchy. I mean, he was beating Justin Cooper, right, at that time, or no?
Oh, way ahead of him.
Yeah. So he was making up points.
Losing points to Dylan, but making points on the leader, and he didn't adjust to the conditions. He just kept blitzing and then weeded.
I mean, if Justin Cooper keeps riding smart and calculated, I think the other guys are just, I mean, you've already seen it. Ferrandis is making little mistakes. Faulkner's made little mistakes.
So they're going to all implode around him, which, again, Justin Cooper had a bad night as far as the way he looked, and he went from a 5-point to a 12-point lead in the championship. That's how many years we have to see that formula work. Webb, Dungey, Anderson. That's Chase Sexton last year. That's how you do it. And for Faulkner, he put it on the ground hard. And he doesn't just go down. He goes down hard every time.
Yeah, he needs some lessons from J Mart and A Mart how to fall.
It's frustrating because
those dudes know how to fall. Like you saw A Mart last night. He
just ragdoll.
He tumbled, he ragdolled, and he walked out of it and jumped back on the bike.
I went and talked to him before the LCQ.
Remember the one with J Mart flipping over all the tough blocks and landing on like 4 tough blocks?
So he needs to hit up the Martin brothers. I mean, they learned it from their dad, so maybe he needs to hit you up. Did you do gymnastics as a kid?
Hit me up.
When you were 16? I could see you in gymnastics.
So many gymnastics.
The one thing that bothers me about Faulkner, like I was talking about when Jet crashed, he got right back up. And granted, I know Faulkner, when he has these crashes, they're big ones. They can't feel good. But man, you were in third. You're in the championship hunt. You gotta pick that thing up and go. You know, when you're hurt and you're laying there, that's one thing. But to get up and then start dancing around and go in circles 3 times and hold your back,
and then get up,
and then get up and then go, and then as soon as he got up, it was within 10 seconds when he got the bike up and going, he was back to speed. Like, what are you doing? You gotta pick the thing up and go.
And I don't know what was going on with him physically, but I'll tell you just how I run my program with Evan, because Evan has a tendency to overreact. Jacob, is he a slight overreactor?
That's an understatement.
Okay. When Evan falls, no matter what, he rolls around, screams, and cries like he's broken. And me and his mother run to him in absolute fear that our baby's hurt. And then we get to him, and there's nothing wrong. And I want to hurt him because I'm terrified. Maggie, remember when Maggie jumped the fence at Riverfront and ran out to the track because, dude, Evan is laying there like he's done. And then he pops up like nothing's wrong, but he's crying, whatever. So we have a rule in our family now. When Evan goes down, you're either injured or hurt. If you are injured, then you're injured. We're going to the hospital. You're my son. You're my baby. I got to take care of you. You're injured. If you are hurt, get your ass up. Get on the bike. Don't cry and go. Because mom and dad are reacting to what we see. And if you are injured, we are terrified for our son. And if you are just hurt, get up and go. Don't do that to us. And he's starting to get it, barely. He still cries every time he falls over, and he cries about a lot of things. But anyway, to your point with Faulkner, if you are injured, then you are injured. But if you got a stinger and you're hurt, then get up. You do have a championship. Get up and go. Get the bike started and go, because he lost probably 10 spots that he could have salvaged if he would have been quicker. Now, if he is injured and we find that out, then I completely understand. But if he shows up next week in Glendale with a pep in his step and he's fine, then that was a mistake.
Unfortunately,
to take so long.
And that his title shot is done.
Oh, he's in big trouble now, championship-wise.
Unfortunately, and it's like, how many of these things can happen before enough is enough? You know what I mean? Because the track record so far has not improved. He's making the same mistakes.
It's just been different ways. It's just been different ways.
And, there's all this talk that when Tomac, leaves Cowie, Austin's going to slide right in there. Man, I don't see it happening right now.
Okay, and here's to that point. Say Faulkner doesn't win this title, comes back next year. He's going to deal with Justin Cooper. I'm assuming he'll be better. He's going to deal with Jet Lawrence. Are we in agreement that he'll probably be better next year?
Oh, yeah.
Unless you somehow don't end up on the coast with them, or you want to go another year against those two in a year? Like, I know it's weird to say this, but there's a weird little window kind of closing on him too. If he doesn't get this done, it's not getting easier. Last year was the easiest shot at it he had. This year is way worse. Next year why will next year be better? Unless he completely resets the approach, because it's the same thing happening over again. This is years on years doing the same thing. And it's unfortunate because he is another freak talent that is not learning from the mistakes. Because sometimes when you make mistakes and you don't learn right away, you just start to build your whole program off of those mistakes being acceptable. And that's what's happening. These things are now becoming acceptable because it just happens over and over. It's just part of who you are. And that's dangerous too.
Well, they're different mistakes too. Like when AC was on the 250, he was overriding the bike. And I think that's what was causing him to crash, just because of his stature and his riding style. But Forkner, it doesn't look like it looks like the bike is riding him.
I just don't think he adapts to the situation quick enough. He was blitzing the whoops in the heat. They were brand new. He was shredding. You go in the main, those whoops, I went and looked at them. They were so bad. And he gets halfway through the main event and he goes down because he didn't accept the fact that this ain't working out and I ain't going to make it 15 minutes. You know what? Tonight is the night where I just get third, but for the big picture, it's the right move. And he wasn't able to adapt and look at the big picture. It was still blitz those things all the way until I go to the ground, and it didn't work again. So it's a bummer because he's sick. He's sick. It's like, come on, man. All right. Anyways, what else we got? Yeah, that's about it. Anything else? I mean, there's so much more. I feel like I want to talk about the high relevant stuff. You know what I mean?
I'm excited for the rest of the season. I mean,
we need a bet, Joe.
Yeah, what are you guys going to bet?
And we need a gift card.
So hold on, real quick. Are we? I mean, Daniel Blair racing Vegas.
Yeah,
really.
I've actually decided. In fact, Jacob, I want to ride your bike at Vegas.
What?
I want to ride Futures on Sunday on your race bike.
It's not a good idea.
Why? I have a bet going.
With who?
Hayden Deegan.
What's the bet?
Who will have the faster lap time at Vegas Futures? He honestly challenged me. He really wants some. And I told him, I said, dude, I'm going to ride a good 250. Like, really? He's like, bring it on. He thinks he'll have a faster lap time than me. I mean, honestly, do you think that's close?
No, I don't think so.
I honestly
think you're.
I'm scared to be this confident, but I think I will wax him in a 1-lap sprint. Like, I'm not that old.
No, I saw you at Hangtown ride. Like, you still look good. Obviously,
and I'm going to prepare too. Don't act like I'm going to just show up. Like, I'm definitely going to prepare.
You're not going to prepare. Don't lie.
Enough to make sure I beat an 85 kid.
Don't lie. Come on, dude.
So on Race Day Live, I challenged him to a 1-lap. Who has the fastest lap at the end of the day at Vegas Futures? And I want to ride your bike.
All right. Training starts tomorrow. See you at the track.
No, we'll start in April.
Dude, so does
second week of April.
Does Maggie know about this?
Don't tell her. Just don't tell her.
He ain't right. He ain't racing.
She'll find out. She'll find out on the drive there when the gear bag's in the van, and she's like, "What?
Hey,
what's your gear?"
# Blair Dream Race 125 Hangtown 2020.
No, I'm not riding out there. You know me.
All right. Here it is. If Daniel actually races,
here we
Vegas Futures.
Yeah. Continue.
Jacob, what else? What else should be the?
You have to wear fly gear.
I'll wear. Yeah. Okay. Deal. I'll wear fly gear for 1 day. 1 day. And that's it.
And if Hayden Deegan's faster than me in times, I'll wear Fox gear for 1 day.
Ooh. Perfect. Deal.
All right. Does that work?
All right.
Okay, you two talk amongst yourselves for a minute. I got to find a good Instagram comment. Joe, I'm going to read a couple Instagram comments from my picture of Ferrandis and Craig, and then whatever one you feel is spicy enough, we'll give him a gift card, okay?
All right, Joe. Who wins the 450 title? 3 rounds in.
I'm still saying Webby.
And what about the 250 title?
Dylon all day.
God.
Joe, I think I have a winner. Alex _640. He says, opinion. Ferrandis is an A-Mart fan and was just getting revenge for what Craig did to him at Detroit 2017.
I like it.
Do we give it to Alex
Hell
_640? Alex _640. You've won the motosport.com gift card. Don't forget No Toil. We do the No Toil winner every week. I got to go through the comments. There's like hundreds of them. So if anyone has Ferrandis and Tomac as the winner, then you will go into a drawing to win $100 in No Toil products, and I will announce that on Instagram as well. Good show, I think. We'll see. Oh boy. Huge shout out to Fly Racing, Mika Metals, No Toil, EMT Racing, Viral Moto, All Meat Creations. Thank you guys so much. And of course, motosport.com, All American Chevy of Colleen, Screen Printing Done, Guts Racing, Scott USA, and DRS Suspension with Race Tech. Thank you guys. What, Dan?
Hey, real quick.
He raised his hand like Vincent.
I know. Motohead's just, in the next week or so, I'm going to be launching a new product.
Oh, yeah. Why'd you wait till now to say that? They're already shutting it off. When the sponsor reads hit, that's when they go to their second favorite show, Pulp X.
This took precedence. So yeah, follow my Instagram, DCMX Tools. I've got a pretty cool new product that I'm launching. I've been working on for quite a while.
DCMX Tools. Is there an underscore in there?
Nope.
DCMX Tools on Instagram.
Or Dan Colvin 633. I'll post there
and
too.
then next time you're on, you'll be fully ready to go.
Yeah,
right?
we'll be fully ready to go. We'll cover it and get you guys maybe a little deal on this. This thing's cool.
I like it. All right, Joe. No penalty for Ferrandis and middle finger of the American fans. That's what Joe wants. Right, Joe? Right, Joe?
No, I don't want no middle
Dan,
finger.
that's what he said.
I heard it.
That's what that's what his intent was.
Yes.
I'm a
behind his
red-blooded
words.
American boy
Who loves Dylan Ferrandis.
who gives props where props is due.
All right. See you next week.
Main event motor. Screw it. You know it by now.